History in 2018 when she became the first female president of the country's biggest trade union. Now, she also serves as a member of the ANC's National Executive Committee. Now, her sister, Noncebo Losi, is the International Relations Deputy Director General and the Chief of Protocol, who has served under the leadership of not one or two or even three, but four South African presidents. And we have both of them in studio with us. This is so great. This is amazing. Thank you to both of you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
How did we plan this? I mean, I can't imagine that a family luncheon is easy to get the two of you free at the same time to be in the same room. What is it like?
Not easy at all,
No,
but
sure.
we try by all means to manage those diaries. She's ever not in the country, at times I'm not. But it's quite a good time when we meet as a family, because we don't carry those positions when we're at home.
And that's always nice, eh? Because you sort of come in, you go back to basics of when you grew up together, and you know, I have to ask, who the elder of the two?
That's me.
Okay, thank you.
She
Okay,
doesn't
you
even
never
come
want to give a
after
woman's
me.
age away. You're looking good, so I had to ask the question.
Thank you.
So, I mean, did you foresee that your little sister would be following in the footsteps of you going into politics?
We didn't, but we knew that it may happen, because when I left for exile, they were harassed at home.
Yeah.
And then she took into politics, where she became a member of Cosatu. From then, I knew that she'll one day.
Yeah.
But we never thought that she'll one day be the president of Cosatu, because you don't plan for that.
No, I suppose you don't, and nobody really plans for that particular position. I mean, that is a position, that is a very hard position to hold in this day and age particularly.
It is. And, you know, I must say that I give also credit to my family. If it was not for them, I mean, sometimes when things are tough, I ask her. I mean, as you've said, she served under 4 presidencies. And with the transition in government, it will never be easy. But she has managed. So I always look up to her and I will say, Ndase, how do I deal with these matters? And she would always give me that. And at times, trade unions, you know, sometimes we lack diplomacy. And she'll always put me in line. Diplomatically, this is how you should be handling things, you know. But I must say that with the support of the family, the support of the comrades, particularly in this position, it has been quite a journey. It feels like it's been a long time, but it has not. Of course, with the work that is sitting there for us as trade unionists, particularly dealing with the challenges that we have, it is not always easy, but it is manageable. It
is manageable, and you are doing a great job under all of the difficult circumstances. I love how when I ask you a question about yourselves, you talk about each other. I love this. This is fantastic. I'm loving it. But let's talk to your career, because your career has been absolutely incredible. 4 different presidents that you've worked under, Chief of Protocol. I mean, this is something that it is a major position to hold, and it is not easy, because you have to adjust to every single person that you work for. Being a woman, does it make a difference? I mean, working in this position, does it offer extra challenges, or, you know, you've sort of managed to adjust to all of that?
It shouldn't really, but you have to adjust to that, as you are saying. It is very difficult, time consuming, because you are never home. My kids had to grow up without me in the past 15 years. And as you would recall, during President Mbeki's time, we worked tirelessly. And I thought that President Ramaphosa would be better. He seems to be worse. So my kids grew up without me. But like my sister said, we have a very solid family background. Our sisters who are at home, they're very supportive. The comrades are supportive as well.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I have noticed, and it is very, very difficult, and people ask that question, why is it that, you know, women don't get to the top? And I think the answer that stumbled across me was that it is easier sometimes to give up because of exactly what you said.
True.
My children are missing their mother. I am not there for them. You know, I want to be home. And yet, something that support around you allows you to continue and move to the heights that you have. And that, I imagine, is attributed, as you said, to that support that you have around you.
True. But we should not feel pity for ourselves as women, because we can work as hard as men do. So working hard prevails at the end of the day. What I want to say, we should leave away that guilty factor as women. That's why you would find that at times we are unable to rise, because they are guilty about the children, and they've grown today, they are independent.
Yeah. And that is sort of, how old are your children now?
It's 30 and 26.
So no more children.
No.
Politics?
And they're out of their house.
And well done. You
out
got
of
them
the
out
house.
the house.
Yes,
That's
yes.
a big deal.
Yeah.
And no politics for them. They're not going in your
No,
footsteps.
no. I told them that there's no child of mine that will work for government.
Your
But
career healed them.
politics, we live with politics. There's no way they can
No
run away
getting
from,
away from
yeah,
it.
you can't get away from politics.
Now, you grew up with twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a twin sister.
yeah. Yes.
Now that's Zanele, right?
Zamela.
Zamela. Thank you, Zamela. What does she do?
She works in Port Elizabeth in the Nelson Mandela municipality.
Oh my gosh, another one in politics.
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Okay.
Not
that one.
She's just not into it. Of course, as Noncebo says, politics are who we are.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you wake up in the morning and you have to negotiate on the salary that you are getting and how you're going to go about budgeting that. Those are all politics. You were the issues that were on TV now of so-called xenophobic attacks. Those are politics. So you need to deal with international, socio-economic and all of that. I've got a twin, completely different from me, Leanne. Completely different. She's more of a motherly, and if you talk about those that would have helped us to move to be where we are, who have remained to be mothers to our kids, it is Zamela and Nomvuyiseko, our two sisters that are in PE. They are not getting involved in all what we do, but they are always there on the background to ensure that our kids continue to have that motherly support in our absence as we pursue not necessarily careers, if you were to put it, but to do what we can to make a contribution in growing our country in different aspects.
That is so wonderful. I love the way you put that, because there are some people, and when you talk to reaching your full potential as a woman, some women, that is them. That's what they are there for, and they are amazing at it. But there are other women like yourselves who offer so much more in terms of the political, the career, the doing of service to your country, to your fellow laborers and workers, and that's what your calling is. So you follow your calling. I want to focus on you for one second, because you are, Zingiswa, you're still a lady. And wait, I'm going somewhere with it, because it is very easy to be in your industry. Biggest trade union labor in South Africa. You are dealing with very hard issues, and a lot of the people that you're representing are men. Yes, there are women, but the majority are men. And in order to get the rights of men, you would almost have to fight like a man. But it doesn't appear that you are doing that. You haven't left behind your femininity and who you are and your strength as a woman. And that, I think, is very, very admirable. How do you do that and still be respected in this industry?
I always give that to my background. I think the military training helped me a lot when I was with the military. It gave me the discipline of always remain disciplined, remain calm, but be firm on issues and how things needs to be done and get things done. And I always say that discipline, it's more like an injection that you get and you can't take it out. It's on your system. And I think it has helped me to remain grounded. But also, for me, it is perhaps the upbringing. We're always taught to be respectful, but not to be submissive in a way. You can still raise your point. You can still be firm, but in a very respectful way.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, appreciating and understanding that I deal in life with different beings, and therefore my levels of intellectual capacity has to rise and be able to make the difference on whom am I speaking to now and whom am I dealing with now and what are the issues that I'm dealing with. And it then takes me to a different level depending on who am I dealing with, but still be able to raise those issues and let people listen. And importantly, what I was taught is to be able to listen for some time and keep quiet.
Yeah, exactly. Listen and keep quiet. And you've probably had to do that a lot.
A lot.
A lot. I mean, you've worked for presidents, and we know South Africa hasn't had the privilege of having a female president as yet. So you've been working under men, and you've had to listen to them and adjust to them. What does your life entail? Or what has it been like for you?
It's been very hectic, because when you work for a president, you must have attention to detail. I always make an example to my protocol officers that if you take the president to a meeting 5 minutes before, you are embarrassing the host.
Yeah.
If you take the president to a meeting 5 minutes after, you are embarrassing our president. So attention to detail is very key. And we don't work 8 to 4, we work 24 hours, so you must always be alert. But I work for the Department of International Relations and Corporations, so I must also be aware of what is happening internationally. So we are forever working, but it's part of our job. I also come from the Defense Force. I left the Defense Force in 2004 as a colonel from Defense Intelligence. So that grounded us, having been with the Defense Force for 10 years, since the integration in 1994. There is no university than the Department of Defense Force.
Who was your role model in life?
My grandfather and my father.
2 men, role models, creating 2 powerful women. So,
And our mother too.
and of course your mother as well.
She's late though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's late. She was fierce. She was a soldier.
She was a soldier.
Yeah, she was a soldier. She was fierce. She was our number 1 fan. Yes, I remember when I was graduating, she ululated there. I was so embarrassed, and she was so proud of us. And
Yeah. For you?
My mother, I must say, and of course I was saying our dad was just having his 80th birthday now, and we were reminiscing on how we were raised up. You know, it was not easy, but they've managed to pull us together, including our grandfather. My mother used to say to me when I grew up, you know, you will go and play on the streets and you come back, you are weeping and crying. She said, get out. Go and fight for yourself. You know, I'm not going to deal with issues that happen outside this house. So you went outside to play, you go back outside to play. And I think that's one thing that said, never ever allow anyone to tell you are never enough. Yeah. Never ever allow anyone to tell you that you can't. So my mother said, you can. Always tell yourself that you can. And the world does not owe you anything. That's what she would always tell us. The world does not owe you anything. You go out there, you make it yourself. How you want it, you want your life to be, it's going to be up to you. So, and I guess that's why we are such a strong family.
And you remember when we grew up, there was no work at home for a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
We all did the chores at home.
Everything
In
across
fact,
the
our
board.
brother, Unsikelelo, is the best cook.
How many of you are there? So I've already counted 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're on to number 5 now.
We're a battalion.
No wonder you joined the army. How many brothers and sisters are there?
We now have 3 brothers and
1 late,
yeah,
and 1 late sister. So it's 4 sisters.
3 brothers,
3
alive,
brothers alive
and 2 late.
And 1 brother late, one sister late.
Wow, no, you needed a battalion. You did. But it is so incredible to speak to ladies like you. It really is. You know, I just want to wrap this up. I've stolen all the time I can. I'm sorry. I've ignored my producers, the director, because I'm having so much fun. Greatest challenge for women now, very quickly. The little bit of advice and perhaps, you know, the challenge and the advice to women at this point.
We have to define our path. We have to define what is it that brings us together and what is our identity as women, so that we stop this thing of fighting amongst each other. If we are going to deal with issues of women emancipation, women liberation, and we have to make sure that my shoulders are able to carry you and your shoulders are able to carry the other one.
Beautiful. Nope.
we have to empower each other. We are where we are because the mothers before us empowered us. We were empowered by Mark Shope, Gertrude Shope, Masisulu, and all of them.
Yeah.
So we have to take care of these young ladies in those little corner so that there are multiple losses after us. We shouldn't want to be there all the time. We have to empower those who come behind us and work hard, study. That's what will take you up.
Well, these losses have to stay because we can't lose you yet. You have so much more to offer. Noncebo and Zingiswa Losi, the two sisters who have made their mark in the South African political landscape, talking to us about the challenges and the joys they have faced through their lifetime. Thank you so much for being with us. This is what I think we need to do more on Morning Live. I really do. Let's take a break. We'll say goodbye to you after this. Stay tuned.